A scientist discovered many unusual shapes and figures, not by gazing at distant galaxies, but through meticulous observation of different materials, here, on Earth, where materials contain undiscovered secrets to be revealed. How big are things? Sometimes, the answers lie in the tiniest details. The size of objects varies enormously in the universe. Speaking of small things, from the size of an ant and decreasing down to an atom, they change enormously. To put it in perspective, the size of an ant is about 10 million times larger than the size of an atom. This range of sizes illustrates the vast difference in scale between macroscopic objects and submicroscopic particles. Light microscopy uses electromagnetic radiation in the form of visible light for imaging and is limited due to its wavelength. Visible light can resolve images up to 0.2 microns, or about 200 nanometers, revealing astonishing details. The electromagnetic spectrum is the range of all types of radiation, which travels and spreads out as it goes. The visible light that comes from a lamp in your house and the radio waves that come from a radio station are two types of electromagnetic radiation. For smaller objects, we use radiation with a shorter wavelength, like high-energy electrons, to achieve better resolution. A high-energy electron is defined as an electron beam generated by an accelerator that accelerates charged particles in a single direction through electric and magnetic fields. Electron microscopes have a far greater resolving power than light microscopes, so we can use them to see even more detail than is visible under a light microscope. Electron microscope uses a focused beam of electrons rather than visible light to magnify objects. Traditional optical microscopes magnify images around 1,000 times max, whereas electron microscopes can magnify up to 300,000 times or even more. In 1938, von Ardenne built the first scanning electron microscope, followed by a commercial version in 1939 by Ruska and von Boris. The first SM in America was built in 1939 by Hillier and Priebus at the University of Toronto, setting new standards. The SEM uses electrons and is composed of several components to produce high-resolution images. The history of the microscope is fascinating, but what exactly did our scientists discover? What do these intriguing figures represent? Let's delve deeper. Using optical and electron microscopes, our scientists found strange figures in aluminum alloys. Check this out. These are images of different phases formed due to the presence of not only aluminum, but also other alloying elements such as silicon, magnesium, and copper. Fishbone patterns were captured using the microscope. Look closely to see these fascinating figures. The similarity and accuracy of the parts of the skeleton are incredible. With a well-defined mouth, its eye, spine, and fins. Intricate Chinese script patterns were also captured under the microscope, resembling real scripts. The microscope revealed figures that closely resemble known scripts, bridging art and science. A recognizable sports brand logo was found in the microscopic figures. Can you spot it? A figure of a man walking was observed. Sometimes, all it takes is a bit of imagination. As for the constellations, since in many it was difficult to find the real shape. As for nebulae, you also need imagination for pine trees, but they look like branches coming out of the trunk. They are called dendrites. And what about the seahorses and stars? Let's see them up close. What about these figures? What do they look like to you? The microscopic world is full of surprises. Seahorses, stars, and other remarkable figures were all found, showing the beauty in the minuscule. Maybe you thought that in the previous figure, they were all really seahorses, but they are figures found with the microscope in aluminum alloys. Many more fascinating figures were discovered. Each one tells a unique story. They could resemble pizza triangles, triangular spaceships, or figures found in fields in various parts of the world that are said to be made by aliens. These and other figures were found. You can search for other figures on the internet and be surprised. Perhaps it could help us find hidden objects in many microscopies that are browsing the internet. Microscopic or nanoscopic worlds are fascinating, and there are countless discoveries waiting to be revealed. I hope you liked my video about shapes found in constellations and micrographs. In the micro and at the distance, science can surprise us. If you like to be informed, see news, discoveries, and interesting facts, you can follow my channel.